Hey Brandon, this is Coach Holtman. This is your mechanical breakdown for October. I'm going to start by just letting it play through slow motion so you can see the whole, the whole delivery. Okay, so let's just take you through the 5 phases here and just see if we've made any improvements to anything, and we'll see what we need to work on for the next month. Okay, so remember the first phase is hip load. Okay, so I'll take you to hip load. Remember, hip load is when we reach the apex of our leg lift. Okay, first thing I noticed is that you've lowered your leg kick a little bit, which I think is good. All right, a little more room for error. All right, it's a little bit more repeatable when it's not so high. And I think it prevents us from swinging our leg open too much too. Okay, so good adjustment on that. I'm on board with it. Okay, remember when we get to hip load, I want to see this back leg extended, and I want to see a slight elevation in your hips. Okay, what I'm really looking for is I want to see this hip pop out first as we make our lateral move down the mound. All right, I think you do a decent job there. Okay, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell if you're elevated in this front hip, but we want to see this hip slightly elevated, that front hip slightly elevated as we make our move down the mound. All right. After hip load, draw my lines in. Okay, after hip load, we move into hip lead. Okay, so hip lead is kind of when we take our front foot out past our front shoulder. Okay, so we'll line you up about right there. Okay, one thing I'm looking for is I want to see what's known as a knee pinch. Remember, we want this little knee we want our back knee to create an angle in, so that way we can push into the ground this way. All right. As you can see, you got a good knee pinch there, which is what we want. All right. Remember, we want to stay on that heel. And we want our hips to go back as we start to make our lateral move down the mound. So when you watch this video on the left here, see how your knee continues to go over your toes, and you lose your heel right there, which is still pretty early in the delivery. All right, we want to keep that heel grounded so we activate our glutes in order to move us down the mound. All right. So on the video on the right, it looks like you're making a knee pinch. But what's actually happened is this knee is tracking up past our toes on the left, and we're rotating through our quad in order to get down the mound and not through our glutes. All right, so I really want you to think about getting your hips to go backwards. All right, we want our butt to go back almost behind our heel in order to stay on our heel as we drive down the mound. All right, so this next month, we really need to work on lateral drive with you and get that back knee to be angled more towards the catcher instead of going up over those toes. All right. As we get into front foot strike here, so see if you notice this picture on the left, see how you come up onto your toes super quick. All right. We want to be driving through that heel as long as possible. All right. This activates our glutes and helps us rotate more efficiently. Okay, and because of that, because we have up under that toe, we got to land on our toe on the front side. It causes our upper body, our trunk, to rush forward. And then when we get into foot strike, we are way past the center line here with our head. Okay, we want to be able to keep this weight back so that way we're able to use that mass of our trunk much more effectively. So your head should be back in this position. Okay, but because we come up our toe, our hips have to rotate open early, which makes our shoulders rotate open early, and then we lose a lot of velocity as a result. All right, but it all starts with this back foot. So really got to focus on lateral drive drills this next month. Okay, as we get into release, first thing I notice, 10 times better on the lead leg block. All right, we still have some work to do, but it's night and day better. All right, and I think you mentioned that you said you felt like you're throwing harder because of it. That's absolutely got to do with this. All right, so keep working on those lead leg block drills. All right, check out the videos on the app. That'll give you some things that you can do in order to continue to improve that. Okay, the other thing that looks a lot better is this back leg isn't collapsed near as much as it was in the last month in September. So that's continuing to get better too, which is good. Okay, so the big thing for you is continuing to work on that lead leg block. All right, you've done a good job. I can see a big difference in that. Continuing to just get that feeling and that movement worked out, and then we really got to work on our lateral drive with you. All right, and if you get those two things in, hopefully we see a little more uptick in velocity. All right, hey, keep up the good work this off season, and then don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.